Majikaja は体が匂いでできてる。そのままだと話せない。この体は入れ物だよ。
I'm sorry, what? Hello everybody, I am Famincho, and today I'm talking about Made in Abyss Season 2, Episode 3, The Village of the Hollows. So this episode was honestly kind of stacked with information. I had to make notes. I had to make notes. I made notes because there was so much information in this episode that was thrown at us viewers. There was so much stuff going on, and let's just go through the notes, man. We gotta go through the notes. So first things first, there's no force field down here. That's the first note I made. There's no force field, so we can go up. We can ascend in certain ways. I find it really interesting that there is no force field here and how that relates to the Hollows and Nanachi. Another note that I made is something is going on with Nanachi here in this weird village. Something is happening to Nanachi. I don't really know what it is. It's very eerily and slightly hinted at that Nanachi is feeling things here that she hasn't felt anywhere else. Maybe because she's close to Hollows and she's close to the heart of the Abyss, the blessings of the Abyss or whatever. Maybe that's happening to her, and I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if something's going to become of her or anything of that sort, but something is certainly happening to Nanachi. I'm excited to find out what it is. Another note that I put down is that the Hollows are very curious. You know, they're sort of in the same boat as Team Rico. They don't really know what these characters are. They don't know what Reg is. They don't know what Rico is. They don't know what a human being is. I'm not even sure if they know what Nanachi is. They don't speak the same language, but they're not scary. I mean, yes, they're scary. They're gross. They're weird, especially that disgusting pink thing. We'll get back to the pink thing in just a sec. But they are sort of figuring things out as they go, and they're willing to learn, and they're willing to, hey, I will try to figure out what you're trying to say, and I will take you to lodging. You know, you know, go to sleep. I know what that means. Let me take you to an inn. You know, that's something that I really desire in a series like this. It's something that I really enjoy in a series like this, where it's about adventure and things like that. And there's culture here. It feels like there's culture. This is a living, breathing. There's economy here. This is a very important aspect to this arc, I feel, this Village of the Hollows. I think we're going to be here for quite a while, and you definitely get that sense right off the bat, like, oh, there's something happening here. This is important. And then there's the whole value thing, you know, super like Hunter x Hunter, Togashi vibes, like sort of this weird gimmick to the arc in a way. I don't want to say gimmick. I feel like that's a word that is not favored well in sort of the anime ecosystem. However, it is a gimmick, and it is really, really interesting. As we walk through sort of the market of the Village of the Hollows, there are things for sale at every single corner. There's small little creatures, there's cooked meat. I actually don't think there was any cooked meat. It was just meat. There is meat available. You can buy living beings, you can buy dead beings, but you could also buy relics of cave raiders past. And Rico quickly notices this, like, oh, this is cave raider gear. This is stuff that I'm familiar with, but it looks like it is from another time. And I really, really enjoy that. It kind of looks like the gear from the Three Saints or the Three Sages. It looks like their stuff. It looks like the helmets that some of them were wearing. It looks like that kind of stuff. So maybe like the first cave raider stuff is up for grabs, and that stuff has significant value, and Rico does not have that value until her value is questioned by that gross pink thing. Again, we'll talk more about the gross pink thing in a sec, and then she's garnered value. But I don't know, I really like just sort of parading through, like, here's just a collection of weird stuff that we have found in the Abyss, and I'm sure they're going to touch more on that stuff later, but past relics of other cave raiders is huge. That's huge for this series. We haven't like seen other cave raiders since the movie, you know. I mean, obviously, like, they were being eaten and, you know, they died. That was tragic, but we haven't seen like any remnants of other people traveling here, which there are. People have been here before. They haven't gone back, but people have been here before. And I'm curious, like, what does that mean? Are there people deeper? Are there humans here, perhaps? How does Majikaja know this language? You know, how did he learn this thing? Obviously, probably, you know, if you watch the entire episode, at the end of this episode, you do see the three sages enter the city, and it's like, that's probably where they learned this language. Are those characters involved in some way with what's going on? Does Majikaja, was he there? Was Majikaja there at that time? I have no clue. And that's something that's kind of mind-boggling, and it's fun to think about, to be honest. The fact that these hollows, I don't know what their lifespan is. Do they live forever? Also, Majikaja, again, let me read the note. This is like exactly what he said. So, Kaja is living smell? He is smell that is trapped within a vessel. He doesn't want to be a vessel, he wants to have a body, but he is a vessel. He's kind of mechanized, and he's got this weird, like, sort of, I don't know, furnace belly thing going on, and obviously he's got spider-like snake vibes happening. What is going on? Smell can walk around and live and talk and hang out with Team Rico? That's a thing? I get weird, man. Don't be afraid to get weird with your stories and with your manga, anime, movie, film, whatever. Get weird with it. And do it in a very intricate way like this, where it is believable, where it's like, he's living smell? Yeah, I guess I believe that. That sounds like something that could exist in this world. Living smell, wow. I don't think I've ever experienced living smell in any other form of media aside from Made in Abyss. Now, I don't know exactly what living smell is. That could just be like, oh, it's the essence of my soul, and I technically am a living being. Maybe that's just how he phrased it, but how he phrased it is so interesting and so rich to me, where I really enjoy that stuff. I think that kind of phrasing and that kind of storytelling is super important right now, and again, I really love this series. I really, I love it. So it's finally time we talk about this gross pink thing. So this gross pink thing grabs Mania at some point in this episode and starts poking and prodding and like squeezing, and I thought legit killed Mania, the little furry creature hamster thing. It literally squeezes it to death, essentially, but it turns out its guts like shot out of its bottom and they can be pushed back in. Made in Abyss is gross, by the way. I'm not the first person to say this, I'm not the first person to notice it, but Made in Abyss is nasty. And this pink thing is no exception. This weird, gross pink creature is a revolting being, in my opinion. After it sort of squeezed the life out of Mania, this weird force sort of surrounds the pink guy and sort of pulls value from it of what Mania would have been worth, I'm assuming, or what Rico claimed Mania. What Rico claimed Mania's worth is. It's really strange. I don't fully grasp the idea of this yet, but I do love it, let me tell you. And this value is stripped because it disrespected the value of Mania, and it's gruesome. Like, it's literally taking limbs from this disgusting creature, deserved in my opinion. I hate this creature. I hate this hollow. Get it out of my sight, please. But it is disgusting. Let me tell you, it is gross. You literally see arms and limbs being pulled out. You see its skin being like ripped off. I'm not sure if the pink guy lived. I don't think that's ever really, I don't think they go back to that. Like, did he survive that? Was his life literally taken away? They're going to sell his limbs. They're going to sell its parts and skin and whatever else it had. But then Rico somehow garnered value from the things that the pink guy had, and now we're able to, you know, go to the inn and sleep there because now we have money from the pink guy. And this is really interesting to me. This is like totally bizarre and weird, sort of these values that are being played with. Again, gimmicky and sort of like it very shonen-y, but I love it. I really do, and I want to know more. And we are alluded to more with Faputa. Not Faputa. Definitely not Faputa. That's like saying Naruto. Faputa, let's say that, I guess. This is the embodiment of value. That's what Majikaja says, is like Faputa is the living embodiment of value. And she's this like cute little furry person, kind of like Nanachi in a way, or at least that's what we're seem to believe. There's also like this stalking, gross looking, almost White Whistle-esque type of being as well, and I'm curious if that is a White Whistle for one, but also is that Faputa, or I'm led to believe that the white-haired furry girl is Faputa, but I'm curious, like, what is that other dude? What's going on there? Is that like a knight that's supposed to protect her? I think Nanachi mentions like, oh, so that's a princess. That's the princess of value. That's the princess of the Hollows or whatever. And I love that, for starters. That's really, really cool. She's kind of like royalty among these like decrepit, gross, piecemealed, hollowed creatures. I really, really dig that. But at the same time, like, I mean, let's get real. Faputa, God, I'm struggling with this. This is a hard one for me. This thing is portrayed in the opening quite prominently. That this is a character. This character is important to the story, this arc, in some way, shape, or form, because it is shown in the opening. Also, at the end of this episode, we get our second glimpse, our second time we've visited the past. We get a flashback of what was going on with the three sages at this time when they first arrived at the Golden City. And I really, really dig that stuff too. I really, really do. And I think it sort of helps bridge what's going on and why a character like Kaja would understand English, understand the common language or whatever, because they might have been around at that time, or that's something that's just taught throughout the ages with Hollows, or Faputa was there and became a Hollow. Now again, I go to, I think the second episode, they mentioned that like we are not going to be able to leave this place the same way that we are in now. That's not going to happen. So I wonder, and like there's literally, you see Faputa, she's standing on top of this like gross knight bulking dude, and like you see her face, and then it sort of flips, and then you see the weird like sort of cave girl that was in the first episode when they first went down into the abyss, the sort of primitive character. And I'm curious, like, oh, that's what I'm led to believe is that's her. She became a Hollow. She became Faputa. Or maybe that was her name all along, perhaps. But she became the princess of the Hollows. Now, we're getting into like theory crafting and stuff like that for sure. I don't know any of this. Again, I am an anime only watcher. I have no clue what's about to happen next. But I'm led to believe that. The episode sort of formed this theory itself. But holy shit, this is probably my favorite episode yet, to be honest. There were great little comedy bits. It was grotesque. It was weird. It sparked curiosity within me and within viewers. It had action, and it had drama, it had comedy. It was like one of the better episodes of this entire series, in my opinion, and definitely probably my favorite yet of the season. I am thoroughly enjoying this series right now. It is fantastic. I love this episode. I adored this episode, actually. So much is happening, but again, everything feels reined in and everything feels thematically correct. Everything feels like this is what's supposed to happen, and I think that is important within the greater confines of storytelling, within the greater confines of how the story has been told before, how the story got here. It doesn't feel like, oh, now we're going here. No, it feels like this is the natural progression of the story, and again, that is super important. So please comment down below, give me your thoughts on episode 3 of season 2 of Made in Abyss. What did you think of this episode? Have you read the manga? Are you caught up with the manga? What did you think of this adaptation? Are they jumping around? Are we getting crazy? Are they speeding things up? Or do you feel like that this is a great progression of where the story is going? Give me your thoughts down in the comments below. No spoilers, of course. Again, as I mentioned, I am an anime-only watcher, so let's be respectful of that. Don't spoil the series, please. please, for real. If you like this video, make sure to click like. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to see more Made in Abyss content, if you want to get this content as early, I hate saying the word content, if you want to get these videos as soon as possible, make sure to subscribe. I also do other weird things on this channel as well. If you're really interested, you can click down in the description below and also check out my Twitch, my Twitter, and my Discord. I'd appreciate you joining the party. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, party on.